This is day 16 of practicing communication with ChatGPT. Morning, ChatGPT. How are you?
Good morning, Nock. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm fine. I want you to act as a professional communication coach. I want to practice slow my voice. I mean, my volume and my rate of speech. And also, I want you to give me some negative scenario where I have to understand the real meaning behind others' words. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely, I can help with that. Let's start with a scenario. Imagine a colleague says, I noticed you took on a lot of tasks lately. Are you sure you can handle them all? This might imply they're concerned about your workload or questioning your capability. How would you respond?
Mm. So, in this scenario, first I believe he care about me or about the work because he is, concerning about the successness of the work. So I should be reply like, I know that you are caring
That's a good start.
about me or about the work, and and I appreciate that. And yes, the work have been intense lately, and I was about to bring it on the retrospective section, and I want to clear the blockers in my work so that uh, so that we can distribute those tasks to be more efficiently delivered instead of overheading at my work. So yes, I can I can solely do it by myself, but it's not effective and it's very overhead at my end. So what do you think?
That was a thoughtful response. You acknowledged their concern and showed appreciation. You also explained your situation and sought their input. Great job. If you speak a bit more slowly, it'll
Mm.
be even clearer. Let's practice another scenario next.
Yes.
All right, imagine a manager says, I've noticed you've been taking a lot of time to finish your tasks lately. This might imply they're concerned about your productivity. How would you respond?
Yes. So in this scenario, the manager has noticed, um, have and also questioned about my productivity. So I should clear his thoughts. Like, if I am really struggle with the problems, I should ask for his help. Um, in that scenario, I will answer like, thank you for noticing that the work lately is a little bit overwhelmed to me, and I am new here. I am trying my best to get to know the work, to familiar myself with those, but I am not used to the process and the way of working here. So could you please guide me, or um, or have me find somebody that can share his knowledge of working with me so that I can keep up the pace. That is the response if I really struggle with the work, and if the work itself is also very burdensome and overwhelming, I would reply something like, you I as you all as you already understand my capacity, my capability, my capability, as you also already understand my capability. I am I am I am confident with my skills, and I know what I'm doing. But also, the job itself is quite uh, big for me, and I think that. And what do you think if I distribute some tasks to other guys so that we can efficiently work, deliver like a team?
Your response effectively acknowledges their concern and seeks support, which is great. Remember to speak a bit slower to ensure clarity. It's also helpful to be specific about the type of help you need. Good job. Let's move on to the next scenario.
Yes, 100%.
All right, next scenario. Imagine a colleague says, I noticed you didn't join the team meeting yesterday. Is everything okay? This might imply concern or something more. How would you handle it?
Okay, so if a colleague notice that, that might mean others can also notice that, and that also can mean there's might be some story behind. My manager can um, notice my vacancy without informing, and he told the guy to tell me about that. There, so there must be something behind the scenes. And what I would reply is, thank you for your consideration, and I'm sorry for not informing before, you know, before joining the team meeting. I have some urgent problem, personal problem that I need to deal with, and everything is fine now, and I will talk in the retrospective that I will bring that on the table to self reflect myself be in front of the team.
That's a considerate response. You explained the situation and reassured them. Speaking a bit slower will help convey your message clearly. You can also briefly mention the nature of the urgency if you're comfortable. Great job. Let's continue practicing.
Yes. Yes.
Take your time. How would you respond in that situation?
I need another situation.
Sure. Let's try another scenario. Imagine a colleague says, I noticed you didn't join the team meeting yesterday. Is everything okay? How would you handle that?
I answered that, and I want another scenario.
Got it. How about this? A teammate tells you, I heard you had some issues with your last project. What happened? How would you respond to that?
Okay, so in this scenario, that teammate might not be close to me, but in every cases, we should be considerate giving them information about the project, because it might affect um, others like my managers or my other colleagues. So in this scenario, I will reply by, thank you for your concern. I There was just a little bit issue with uh, with the deployment, but everything was fine. Not a big deal.
That's a good approach. You're acknowledging their concern while keeping the explanation brief and professional. If you want to add more, you could briefly mention more steps you're taking to resolve it. Great job. Let's continue practicing. If you want more scenarios or feedback, just let me know.
More scenario.
Sure, imagine a colleague says, I've noticed you've been missing some deadlines recently. Is everything okay? How would you handle that?
Wow, okay. So if the colleague noticed that, that must mean the manager might also notice that, and that's not good. So I would reply by thank you for your concern. Mm, yes, recently the work is quite intense for me, which leads me to missing some deadline. But I also manage those um, by working with with my manager to tackle those obstacles by
Good.
clarifying um, the 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 and by prioritizing my works and my
That's a
and
great approach. By mentioning that you're prioritizing tasks and working with your manager, you show initiative and responsibility. Keep it up. Would you like to practice another scenario?
yes.
All right, here's another scenario. Imagine a coworker says, I've noticed you seem distracted during meetings. Is everything all right? How would you respond to that?
Well,
It's
if
okay. Take.
okay, if they notice that, which mean I am very visible for them to notice. So first I'm gonna reply them that thank you for your concern. I Even though I look distracted, I was thinking about the different point of view to construct to the meeting. But on the other hand, I myself will have to be more considerate in meeting to not be visibly uh, show my negative faces.
That's a thoughtful response. Acknowledging their concern and explaining your thoughts is great. You can also mention that you'll try to stay more engaged in future meetings. Great job. Would you like to practice another scenario?
Yes.
All right, imagine a coworker says, I heard you had a disagreement with the manager. Is everything okay? How would you handle that?
Maybe the guy was just curious and want to exploit me, not just he was caring about me or something like that. So in this case, I would want to be careful with what I said. So I'm gonna say, um, how do where do you hear that the the you know the the collaboration between me and my manager is fine. We is we didn't have a disagreement. Uh, like you said, it's just like some conversation on the way of working. It's not a big deal.
That's a cautious and thoughtful approach. It's wise to handle the situation carefully and keep the details brief. If you feel uncomfortable, you can also redirect the conversation or clarify your boundaries. Great job. If you'd like to practice another scenario or have more feedback, just let me know.
More feedback.
Overall, you're doing great. You're thoughtful in your responses, and you're handling these scenarios with care. Just remember to keep your responses concise and focus on the key points. Also, continue practicing speaking slowly and clearly. You're making great progress.
Thank you. More scenarios.
You're welcome. Here's another scenario. Imagine a teammate says, I noticed you've been working late a lot. Is everything okay? How would you respond?
Okay, if the teammate um aware of that, it mean he might be either curious about me or either care about me. Either way, I will respond. Thanks for your concern. I Yes, recently the workload is increasing, but I am prioritizing the tasks and and I am responsible for delivering those results on time. So it's just this period of time that um I would stay up late to meet the project's deadlines.
That's a thoughtful response. You're acknowledging their concern while explaining your situation and showing responsibility. Great job. If you want to keep practicing or need more feedback, just let me know.
Keep practicing.
Of course. Here's another scenario. Imagine your manager says, I've noticed you've been missing some important deadlines. What's going on? How would you respond to that?
If a manager say that, is it's a bad thing. Apparently, and I should be extremely careful when responding um to this saying. So um first I gonna say thank you for your noticing, and that's why,
That's a
yeah, and that's why I want to book a catch up with you to brief out the work that I'm working on, and I want you to guide me on the prioritization and on the way of working, to see that if there's anything wrong with me, I mean with my way of working, and how can we how can what can I do to be more effective, to be more productive.
That's a thoughtful response. Acknowledging the issue and asking for guidance shows that you're proactive and willing to improve. It's a great way to handle the situation. Keep it up. Would you like to practice another scenario?
Yes, I'm ready for the final scenario.
Alright, here's the final scenario. Imagine a colleague says, I've noticed you haven't been contributing much in meetings. Is everything okay? How would you respond?
That is quite, you know, quite um so yeah, the fact that I am not visible in the meeting is not good for my reputation. But on the other hand, the notice, the colleagues come at me and speak one on one with me might be a good thing of him, because he lets me know be what to, his observation before anyone else. So um, I would I would um, tell him that thank you. I appreciate um, that you point that out, I, as you already know, I am not um, I am not good at, no, don't say that. That might just a a way to to get around. I must say something like, mm, I believe I am a thinker than a talker. So in those meetings, I think I thought a lot, and I have a lot to say, but I I also think about if they are appropriate with the meeting, with our current situation. So I so if only the thought that I think is appropriate, I would deliver those thoughts, and I will omit the others. That's why I seems to not contributing a lot in the meeting, but I was always concentrated in the meeting, and and you already know my personality. I want to move the team forward.
That's a very thoughtful response. You've explained your approach clearly and emphasized your intent to contribute meaningfully. Great job. If you'd like to practice more or need additional feedback, just let me know.
Okay, that's all for me today. Thank you, and I see you tomorrow.